Hello and welcome to Motivational Moments with Donna. I'm your host, Donna Helfiger. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today I had an entirely different topic planned, but I always go with the theme of what is showing up in my life. And I had two clients this morning complaining about the same thing. And I said, let's talk about this. If it's happening to them, it's happening to other people out there. So this is what we're talking about today. And the gist of it was, it's like, why is it that whenever something good happens to me, my relatives, my employees, my coworkers, whatever, they're not happy for me. It's always, oh, well, that must be nice. Or, I went on this vacation and everybody was saying, well, that must be nice. I'm here to tell you, it is nice. It is nice. Why do people behave that way? It's because they don't believe that they can do the same thing. And I'm here to tell you, if you're wanting to do something that somebody else is doing, you can do it. You just have to make a decision to do it. If it's taking a vacation, start saving your money. Start today to save your money. Don't say, oh, well, when this happens, I'll do this. No, put a little bit aside, a little bit aside, a little bit aside, if you really want to do it. And why is it that we stop ourselves and block ourselves? Is because we're such creatures of habit. We do the same thing every day, day in and day out, and we get the same results the next day and the same results the following day. So what is it that you're jealous of somebody else that you want to do? If you want that job, how do you have to behave, and what do you have to do, and how do you have to think, and what do you have to change about you in order to get a job like that? If you want to take that vacation your neighbor's taken or your relative's taken, start saving your money and plan that vacation. And if you really, really, really want to do it, I'm here to tell you, then nothing can stop you. But if you've always said, oh, I could never do this, and I could never travel here, and I could never do that, then guess what? You're your own worst enemy, and you're the one that's tripping yourself up. Write it down. I say this all the time. What is it that you really want to do? What is it that you're jealous of somebody else? If you're jealous of somebody else, it's triggering you. And why is that triggering you? We really need to get conscious and go back and think about that. I mean, I've seen it time and time again with people, and I always watch how people behave and listen to what they say, especially if we're in a big group. I'm looking and listening, and for somebody to say, oh, well, that must be nice. Well, yeah, it is nice. You can do it too if you really want it. I remember I bought this car one time, and I said to one of my neighbors, I was like, why is nobody will even look when I'm driving through the neighborhood? And she said to me, oh, well, I think people tend to think you're a little spoiled. And I'm like, are you got to be kidding me? The next thing I knew, another neighbor had gone and bought a car, a different model, but just like mine. And then another neighbor went out and bought the same model that I had. I mean, it was like I gave them permission to think outside the box. You too can do whatever it is that you're jealous of somebody else for doing. You just need to start thinking like that. But what do I mean by that? Write it down. What does I want to do? I want to take this vacation. I want to go to whatever place it is that you want to go to. Why do you want to go? How's that going to make you feel? Really get into that and let that start pulling you towards it. Because if you don't have a big enough why as to why it is you want something in your life, whether it's a vacation, a vehicle, a home, an advancement in your career, if you don't have a big enough why for that, it's going to take willpower, and willpower never lasts. It always fizzles out. I think it was Henry Ford that said, the only difference between the CEO of a company and the people coming in to clean up the janitors in the evening is what's going on up here. It's what we're thinking. I used to think I could never travel outside the country because I wouldn't know how to order food. I mean, that was my silly mindset. But I didn't grow up rich. I didn't grow up, traveling and doing all these things that I do now. I really thought that I couldn't travel out of the country because I wouldn't be able to order off the menu. And lo and behold, I start traveling out of the country, and guess what? They've got it in English. I felt like such a silly fool. I'm going, oh my gosh, here, I could have spent my entire life living inside the United States because I didn't know international travel was possible. We get caught up in our silly thinking, and that's what keeps us from making decisions and moving forward in our life. you can do what everybody else is out there doing. You can do what your neighbors are doing. You can do what your relatives are doing. You see, 5 kids grow up in the same family, and one is, in the small town still struggling. The next one's here, the other one's there, and they're all over the place. And a couple of them are really successful. Why? Their DNA isn't any different. It's what's going on up here. So what the people who are triggered by this, I want you to sit back and think, this is my opportunity to get out of this negative or limited mindset. What is it that I need to start thinking? How do I need to change what I'm thinking? Because if we're thinking the same thing day in and day out, we're going to be creating the same results day in and day out. If you want new results in your life and you want to get out of the box that you've got yourself into, you need to start thinking differently and behaving differently and acting differently, because that's going to cause you to feel different and make different decisions. I hope you get a great takeaway from this. Continue to write in, Donna@DonnaHilfiger.com. I want to hear how you've gotten outside of your box. I love reading your stories. Have an awesome week.